from any of these cases. In fact, Homeland Security Secretary tonight on Fox saying they're going to arrest and charge protesters who are assaulting officers. So this is happening in real time, and it is the clash also, Caitlin, of immigration and law and order, two of the main issues of President Trump, all coalescing in this moment as people protest the methods of this administration.
And I also want to show what's happening in Austin. This is what's happening in Dallas. We also have similar scenes that are playing out at protests that are underway in Austin right now. Elliot, when you look at what's happening in Dallas there, I want to go back to that image that we were just showing. Obviously, things seem to be heating up there as you're looking at this scene right now in Dallas where they are clashing with the officers. A lot of people are looking at this, and what I asked to Tom Homan was, is this going to be the new normal going forward in terms of more National Guard being deployed to other cities as well?
Well, and it all depends, quite frankly, Caitlin, on what happens with the legal challenges to this implementation of the National Guard. Now, look, there are circumstances where the president...
I want to ask you about some breaking news that we're just getting in. This is brand new into our newsroom, that the U.S. Northern Command is saying that approximately 500 active duty Marines are, quote, prepared to deploy. In their words, as unrest in Los Angeles continues. This is after, of course, the Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth, had mentioned this. Is that necessary at this point?
No, I'm going to be, not operationally, it's not necessary. There may be other reasons for it. I want to...
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 3. It reads, "And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming and the end of the world? And Yahushua answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Hamashiach, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, see that ye be not troubled. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise up against nation, kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows." Shalom, shalom, shalom. This is a brother Kahan from the GMS Prophetic Vibration Camp here in Trinidad with another edification. Alright, through the power and spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, first and foremost, Kal Halayam La Alahayanawa, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakaha Kodash, Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahushai, Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahushai, Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahushai. Double honors unto the apostles, the bishops, the elders, a great milestone that rule well. The double salutation unto the brothers who preach and teach the truth throughout the four corners of the earth, risking their lives and their freedoms to do so now more than ever. Shalom unto the speckled bird Israelites, and shalom unto the very few but faithful Akwat, which is the sisters that listening and learning. The title of this edification is It Can Only Go Downhill From Here. Alright? It could only go downhill from here. As you see there in the clips there that was played, what is transpiring throughout Babylon, throughout the states of Babylon, alright? Those protests that was the uproars of the people that started in California, and now it going to Dallas, Texas, and other states and whatnot, so forth. It's spreading. All right, it's spreading. All right, and this is just more and more telltale signs, of the decline. The decay of a society, of the Babylonian society. Let's just put it that way. Let's just be more precise with it. All right, a great decay of the Babylonian society. All right, But these things must come to pass as we read here in the scripture here. These things must come to pass. It must happen. All right, it must happen. All right, because these are the birth pains. These are the beginning of the birth pains before the coming of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, who the world ignorantly and stupidly calls Jesus Christ. All right? Yeah, there's what it is. There's the beginning of it, man. There's the beginning of it. It could only go downhill from here. All right? And when I say downhill, I'm speaking of, the crashing of society, the monetary system has to tie into that. That is going to cause even way more uproars of the people. You see when that, you see when that monetary system, there's the beginning stages, man. All right, and as I say, when this whole monetary system crash, you always gonna see uproars of the people like you never seen before. Yeah, like you never seen before. All right. Then famine. Oh God, well, don't talk for the famine. Oh my goodness, don't talk for the famine. When that famine started to take place, the storehouses become empty and all of that stuff. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Yeah. These things. All right, these are the things. That's why the scriptures say, let's go to these things are signs, These things are signs that we ought not to take lightly at all, because the scripture says, be not ignorant in a matter, small or any matter, small or great. That's roughly paraphrasing. So these are the signs that we're looking at, As the scripture say here, 2 Esdras 9 and 1, it reads, He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself. All right, in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. And what are those signs? Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes, earthquakes and uproars of the people, and I think just maybe yesterday, the 6th, not yesterday, the 6th actually. All right, couple days are back, because today is the 10th. So like 4 days are back. There was a magnitude 6.4 on the Richter scale, earthquake over there in Chile. You understand? So, as the scriptures say, earthquakes in diverse places and what have you, so forth. All right, so therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, and there's what we're seeing, man. Not just only in America, in the different states in America, but we saw there over in Europe, also France and England and what have you, so forth, major tribulation, yeah. There's where it is. All right, there's where it is, man. Uproars of the people in the world. Yeah, and then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of these things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. All right, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. So this is why I'm saying, it could only go downhill from here, because this is the end. All right, and at the end of every empire, coming to when an empire is coming to to fall. These are the things that does always take place. Uproars of the people and whatnot, so forth. You understand? Financial troubles, all these things is be taking place. All right? All these things is be taking place. All right? And this empire of Esau, starting with America, all right? This is the beginning stages. It's going to get worse from here. Don't expect for it to get better. If you think or have the notion that things is going to get better in this society here that we live in, well, boy, you're sadly mistaken. Things is going to get better, but not better according to how you want it or how you looking forward to it to be. All right? It's going to get better by the way of this whole society coming to a great collapse. All right? And a great reset taking place by the way of Yahweh Shai coming into rulership. All right? There's where it is. These things have to take place. All right? These things have to take place in order for the world to get better, to be a better place to live in, a world that is being ruled, by righteousness. Plain and simple. All right? So it says here, verse 6, even so, the times also of the highest have plain beginnings and wonders and powerful works and endings in effects and signs, man. And this is where it is. These are the effects and signs, all right? The uproars of the people, the earthquakes, this, the that, the chariot sightings. Yeah, there are many things. There are many things, that the Lord is showing us. All right, for us to know that Yahweh Shai is on his way, is on his return. You understand? There's where it is. These people protesting and all of that, whatnot, so forth. It's only gonna. I'm gonna take my time here. What I want to say is, it's only going to push. It's only going to just push the true agenda by the powers that be to bring in what? To bring in martial law. All right, there is where it is, to bring in martial law. You understand? There is where it is here. All right, because as I say, it's just gonna get worse because the people they're getting fed up. All right, the people getting fed up with all the oppression and whatnot, so forth that is taking place. So they're coming out and venting the frustration and what have you. And they really could care less of what measures the government could take. They could bring in how much soldiers, how much this, how much that, how much soldiers, how much National Guard, whatnot, so forth, But the people don't care, all right? Because when you look at it, all right, it's still weighing in the balance in the sense of the civilians and these military personnel, where these civilians, America is known as a most populous civil people, so to speak, all right, that is armed, all right, a civilian population toward a Yahweh Shem Yahshai, all right. America is known as the most civilian population in the world. All right? So, when this whole martial law break out and whatnot, so forth, and they really start to infringe on the rights of the people, on the rights of the citizens and whatnot, so forth, they're going to fight back. All right? They're going to fight back. And it's going to be bloody. All right, it's going to be real bloody. Let's take a look at 2nd Esdras 15. 2nd Esdras 15 and 14, where it reads, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. All right, so hey, martial law. All right, you're gonna have civil war, race wars, martial law. All right, all these things. All right, who fighting against the government? All right, who different races fighting against each other. All right, left versus right, conservatives versus liberals, and all these things is gonna take place. All right, but the point here, the fact of the matter is, verse 16: for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their action shall stand in their power. So they're not going to, the masses, the people, they could care less of what Trump had to say, or what the governor have to say, or the mayor have to say, or the Secretary of Defense, or the Secretary of Homeland Security and whatnot. They could give one ass. They could care less what the police chief had to say, what the FBI director had to say. All right, they could care less. That time is coming. That time is coming where the people could care less of what these figureheads have to say. All right, because it is that the people they have enough. They had enough. You understand? They had enough. They had enough of all what they had to be enduring. All right, this is Isaiah. For that lengthy period of time that they've been going through whatever they're going through. Isaiah 19:1, it says, the burden of Egypt, behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud, all right, and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst thereof. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight every one against his brother, and every one against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. This is where it is. This is where it is. Right? And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof. And that Egypt it is speaking about is America. All right? That place that is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt. All right? And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof. All right, I will destroy the counsel thereof. So there's nothing. As the scripture says, we would have healed Babylon, but she cannot be healed. All right, so no amount of counsels, no amount of this, no amount of witchcraft or anything. All right, and speaking points and whatnot, so forth, is going to bring America back. All right, because it is the Lord's purpose for America to be destroyed, as it says, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to the idols, all right, and to the charmers, and to them that have familiar spirits, and to the wizards, and the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel Lord, and a fierce king shall rule over them, saith the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, the Lord of hosts, all right, which is Trump, your boy Trump, Nero, all right, Nero, and Nero is calling some shots. Nero is calling some shots that is sticking a nerve within these people. You understand? Nero is calling some shots that is sticking a nerve within these people, man. This just goes to show. All right? This just goes to show, man. All right? Nero and his cabinet, and what have you, so forth. All right, this policies that is being carried out, it is sticking a nerve in these people. These people are getting sick and fed up. Yeah, they're getting sick and fed up. All right, and the fighting back. All right, the fighting back. All right, that's why when I go to Sirach, let's take a look at Sirach chapter 10:1. Sirach chapter 10:1, it reads, a wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered. All right? As the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers, which is his cabinet. All right? And what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein. And we know it, that, hey, this man is a devil, all right? This man is a devil. And his officers, his ministers, within his cabinet, however, they are all devils too, the same way. All right? They are all devils. All right? And the aura that they are putting off, it's transcended onto the people. All right? It is transcended onto the people. So the people, they are all a bunch of friggin' devils too, the same way. All right? It's only the men of the Lord, the men of the Lord that is contrary. All right? It's totally contrary to what is seen, within the society of Babylon. All right? An unwise king destroyeth his people, but through the prudence of them which are in authority the city shall be inhabited. The power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time he will set over it one that is profitable. All right? One that is profitable. All right? So what you're seeing now, all these things had to take place, all right, in order for the one that is profitable to come and be set over the world, set over the earth. All right? That's why the Lord, pursuant to, going back to that same Isaiah 19, but 14, Isaiah 19 and 14, where it read, the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahshai had mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit. That's the reason why the place is in this. The Lord himself, he is stirring up all these things. All right, he said that just that remind me of that to explain that even more. Revelation 16, I believe, 16 and 1 or 16 and 2. 16 and 1, Revelation 16 and 1, and I heard a great voice out of the temple saying to the 7 angels, go your ways and pour out the vials of the wrath of Yahweh upon the earth. All right, so the Lord had poured all these spirits, all right, to cause all these mayhem and whatnot, so forth, to be the carpet, to be the carpet that's being laid, all right, for the coming of Yahweh Shai. All right? There's waiters. Yeah. The Lord had mingled that perverse spirit, sent out those spirits, those spirit of wrath, all right, to bring judgment upon the face of the earth, all right, to cause trouble and judgment upon the face of the earth, that is going to lead to the ultimate World War III, all right, the MOTB and World War III, by the way of nuclear fire, thermal nuclear missiles, that is going to usher in Yahweh Shai. There's where it is. Yeah? Isaiah, going back to Isaiah chapter 14 though. Isaiah 14 and 4. Isaiah 14 and 4, it reads, that thou shalt take up this parable, all right, that thou shalt take up this parable, this proverb, Salakia, against the king of Babylon, and see, how had the oppressor cease, the golden city cease. All right? That countenance that Babylon had before, that look, that proud look, and all what she had pride herself within and what have you, so forth, is coming to naught. All right, it's coming to naught, it's coming to nothing. There's where it is. You understand? Trump talking about make America great again, make America great again. He's here, he's the man to make America great again. It's nothing going to get great about America. All right? America is that cesspool, all right, that shithole, as he wants to call other countries, but America is that shithole. That shithole country that is going down the drain. All right? And there's nothing that could be done to stop it. So as it says here, verse 5, the Lord had broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted and none hinder it. All right? Judgment is about to come upon America and upon the rulers of America, and nobody is going to hinder it. Nobody is going to stop it. All right? America is going to be fully well judged. The whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into singing. All right? They break forth into singing. Yea, the fruit trees rejoice at thee. All right? And the cedars of Lebanon sing, since thou art laid down, no fella is come up against us. Bear with me. All right? No fella is come up against us. All right? Hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. It stirred up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth. And it hath raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations. All they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? Thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and thy noise of the vials. The worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. So what? They have become a decaying society. All right? A decaying society, and that must take place. Because if you could promote alphabet lifestyle and idolatry and all these things, all these wicked, abominable things, all these wicked, evil, abominable stuff, what do you expect? What do you expect? The land must spew you out. All right? You will end up being judged, because your system, your system, and your way of life, your society, it deteriorated to the point of no return. You understand? Because there's a whole bunch of abominable filth lifestyle that you're promoting that is not healthy at all. So something that is not healthy, what does take place? All right, something that is unhealthy. If you have an unhealthy body, all right, or whatever the case may be, all right, you have animals, and animals unhealthy, diseases taking place on them and whatnot, so forth, taking over and whatnot, so forth, or you have crops, you plant crops, and it unhealthy because all sort of insects and pests, all sort of pests and this and that, taking over. What you expect? Isn't the crops or the livestock or the body, it dies, it starts to deteriorate until death takes place. So it's the same thing with America. It's the same thing with America. You understand? The same thing with America. All right? I'll go into Proverbs, because I had to try and hurry up here with this man. Wow, boy. Proverbs 28. 29 actually. Proverbs 29 and 16, it reads, when the wicked are multiplied, transgressors increase, but the righteous shall see their fall. Yeah? Verse 18, it reads, where there is no vision, the people perish it. All right? And there is no vision where America is concerned. There is no vision. All right? They could talk and say what? There is no vision. Okay? Where there is no vision, the people perish it, but he that keepeth the law is happy. Is happy. And we are happy to see what is taking place with America. Happy to see what is taking place with this world. All right? Because this world that is here, all right, this age that we live in is not for us. All right? It's not for us. Because it's an age, a world that is being ruled by much wickedness. All right? Very much so. That's why I will leave with this last scripture here. All right? Which is Hebrews 13 and 14. Hebrews 13:14. For we have no continuing city, but we seek one to come. Here, in this place here, is not a city for us. All right? We seeking one to come, which is the kingdom of heaven. So with that, I had to leave it off there, boy. All right? So with that, I hope you all are edified through the power and spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahshai. Brother Kahan signing out, saying Kal Halayam La Alahayanawa Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem Kodash. Double honors unto the apostles, the bishops, the elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Alright, salutation unto the brothers who preach and teach in the streets of the four corners of the earth, the speckled Israelites, the Akwat. Alright, shalom, shalom, shalom.